Pew 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 pew. Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? Frank here with another DIY for you guys. Today we will be working on my dad's car, which is a 95 or something Land Cruiser Prado with the 1 kg motor or engine in it. So stay tuned. So this is the glorious, the magnificent 1 kg motor. This is the magnificent 1 kg engine, which we will be working on it. So it has some leaks. You can see some oil in there, so we'll have to fix some oil leaks also. But the main issue that this car is having is white smoke when you start it up. It is cold. I'm gonna start for you guys. I believe that you saw that one. So the other issue actually that is facing is we are losing some, we are having some blowby on the engine. So I'm going to show you right now. That we are having blowby in there. You can see the smoke coming out. And getting that name on the that blow by over there. So I believe you just saw what I showed you guys. And on this particular engine, on the models before 2005, which is the case of this actual Prado, those 1 kg engines they had a recall on them because of a failing injector seat, which cracks or becomes softer and doesn't seal very well. So that starts to make the car to lose compression, to blow white smoke or gray smoke when you start it, and also to have an oil consumption. Well, it looks like a very small problem, and it indeed is a very small problem, and with a small fix, but actually it can lead to a lot of damage on the cars, which can blow your turbo, can basically mess with the whole engine. So we will go ahead and start tearing everything apart in order to fix that issue. And I want to send a very big shout out to my dad to let his son to mess with his car, but I believe by following the service manual we'll be able to fix that issue and repair the car. So let's get it. So first things first, to start disassembling it, we will have to take off the intercooler because it's just in front of the valve covers, which are held by this nut, and also have to disassemble for there. And you will see that the bolts that are attached to the intercooler are actually there inside. So it will be a pretty easy job. And also, to disassemble. And also you see the hoses that go to the turbo. And my god, we have a huge oil leak there, which I will show you later. We disconnected the intercooler, which is housed, as you can see. We disconnected the turbo pipe and the air filter pipe. As you can see, everything is messy with oil because it's diesel. And this is the leak that I was talking about, which we will go ahead and solve because we solve things. And now I'm ready to go ahead and remove the valve cover, which is something that just is held by 10mm bolts. You have 10mm bolts all over around there. So I'll go ahead and disassemble, and also I will have to disassemble the vector feeds, as you can see they sit just right here. Went ahead and disconnected also the EGR valve and the throttle body. And man guys, look at this intake. Yo, that carbon buildup, it's huge. Look at the AGR valve, guys. Man, all this oil and gunk was living there. I managed to disconnect the valve cover. As you can see right there, we will have to clean up very well. Everything will be cleaned up, and you have here your cams, your inlet and outlet cams. And now I have marked all the injectors on their positions because we have to return them to each positions. So what we have to do next is to disconnect those lines which are held by those. You can use a 17 or a X bolt, and also to have that one. Okay, so we are now about to remove the first injector, which is this one right here. So with the key, I'm just using this 17. I'm just wiggling it back and forth in order to remove it. This one looks better. That one also looks a little better, and you can still see the washer there, and everything looks nice. That's why it was so difficult to take you out. Yo, look at the amount of the carbon buildup that we are taking out from this one. That's a lot. So let's try to have a look there inside. You can see that we still have to catch and remove some of the washers. This is on the first cylinder. On the second also the washer still down there. Come on. Let's see on the third. On the third it seems like it came out, and on the last one also seems that it came out. So now I want to try to hook the washer just like that. There we go. We have the washer from the first cylinder, which is this one. Let me hook the second one. I went ahead and bought the new stuff. So as you can see, this is the revised version of the washer. This is the old one, which if we push down clearly you can see where it was leaking. And also we have the grommets for the injectors. We have the seals for the valve covers, and also we have the seals for the rocker cover. So, and of course the gasket. But man, I'm so excited because we got everything that we needed, and we are good to go. Next step, I want to make sure that all the parts and especially the injectors are cleaned up, and then I will show you the process of replacing the grommets, which on some of them have already snapped because of the heat. If we try to analyze here with this injector, This is why the lower one fails, and this is why you have compression. If you check here, this right here is the rubber grommet, and as you can see, it has snapped just right here, and all the compression was coming up from this side. That's why we were having a lot of blowby. Okay, so now we want to work on the valve covers. We want to replace the seals, which are those. So we'll use our this flathead screwdriver. We will tap there and we'll be able to remove it. And that is here watching us. So those are the old ones and those are the newer ones. So you just have to tap them and push them down, so it'll be good to go. So now it's time to insert this. So we have all the injectors cleaned up. So this is the old washer versus the newer one, as you can see right there. So in the injector you can see that it sits, but it has a small gap on the injector, but the revised one, it sits more perfectly comparing to the old one. That's why it's important to use the newer version instead of the copper ones. So we went ahead and installed also the newer seals in all 4 of them. So before you go ahead and insert back on the car, you just have to put a little bit of silicone right here to make sure that the seats doesn't go anywhere when you insert it back on the car. So now I'm about to put back the injector, since I've already cleaned up the area. All of them are back. So now we have to pick up our torque wrench and make sure that we torque them out. Before we torque down, let's go back and insert back the rail. So now it's time to torque down. You just have to set your torque wrench to 22 Newton meters. There we go. Okay, 22, 22, 22, 22. I'm just going to recheck again. 22, 22, 22, 22. And also we have to do the same procedure for the remaining ones, which is this one, those ones right here, and the one on the back. 22. So now we have all of them torqued as I showed you guys. So we are ready to move to the next step, which is install back the valve cover. You have the brand new valve cover, you have to trash the old one, don't reuse it. I will set it here, and I will move forward into the car and show some places that you have to put a little bit of silicone. Before you go ahead and install back the silicone, first make sure that all the edges are cleaned up. And you see those 2 places here on the corners, this side and this side, you have to put some you have to put a bit of RTV silicone just to make sure that you have you don't have any leak here for the front of the engine. So I installed back the valve covers, as you guys may see right there. The next step that I want to do is to do a blocking plate for the EGR, because it will be a little bit difficult to me right now to clean out the intake plenum. But for now, what I will go ahead to do is to block the EGR, which is just to do by making a blocking plate. It will be enough, so we don't have that gas recirculation back. So the way to do this is to actually, I will use this gasket. So I will make a plate out of this gasket. So this is a sheet of metal, so I will draw the gasket there. I did the same for my Navara. As you can see right there is the place where I cut it off. So I will do the same for this car. I will draw it down there, and then I will cut the sheet metal, and there we go. We have a gasket for the EGR block. And voila, we almost have our blanket plate. I just have to shave it a bit and we'll be ready to go. So there we go, guys. We made our EGR on blanking plate. That's awesome. So we can move ahead and assemble it into the car. So yeah, guys, we managed to finish up everything. I just have to connect the batteries, but everything is back to where it should. And I'm just going to connect the battery and go ahead and give the first start. Let's see what happens. So now I'm inside of the car. Let's see. We are just primering. Yes! Oh man! It started right away! After some primering, it just started. Months later, since I've done this job, and the car has been driving like flawlessly. All the parts that we had, some leaks, have been fixed. The car is not leaking anymore. Starts just right away. I will crank up the engine right now just so you guys listen up. As you guys saw, 0, 0, 0, 0. You can see how smooth the engine is working, which is cool. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and we learned a lot. And it has been 4 months since we did the repair, and the car is driving so nice now. And yeah, it is what it is. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm hoping to see you next time. So please subscribe, leave your comment down below, and see you next time. Cheers. Bye, Daniel.